I will never live in the UK again. Don't misunderstand me. I love the UK, always have, always will. There's nobody more patriotic or passionate about the UK than me. However, I have found something better. In this video, we're going to look at 8 things that have actually changed me and how I see the UK. 7 years ago, I packed up, sold up, moved to Europe, Portugal to be precise. I needed to make changes in my life, and I knew I couldn't make those changes in the UK. Of recent years, the UK political scene has gone through massive turmoil. You've got prime ministers resigning on a fairly regular basis, and then you've got MPs voting out their own prime ministers. This isn't good for the consistency of policies that they're trying to implement and make things better for the nation, and it certainly doesn't look good on the world stage. Here in Portugal, the political climate is a lot calmer. You'll hear the Portuguese say that word a lot, calmer, and yes it is. For example, you haven't got prime ministers constantly being ousted or being voted out or resigning. In the UK, you've got one president. Here in Portugal, no, there aren't hundreds, there are thousands of presidents. So let me explain. Here you have cameras and juntas. Cameras are like your local council, so they have a president. Then you have juntas. Juntas are like a tinier council, and they reside over like maybe 4, 5, 6 villages. Now those presidents play a really important part for the local community. People got a problem, they go and see their local president, and that local president is respected, and he works or she works really hard for the local people. And it works well here. Big difference, isn't it? The UK's very high cost of living, continually and forever rising. People's incomes constantly being stretched to breaking point. The UK is and always will be in my heart. So I've been watching some documentaries that have given rise to some serious concerns. Now, in one of the documentaries, there was a food bank being interviewed, and they said that they are constantly running out of food, and that's never happened before. And in another documentary, there was a lady who was the manager of a Citizens Advice Bureau, and she said that she's ripping her hair out because she can't find the resources to give to her team to help the people coming in the door for support. What the hell is going on in the UK? Poverty is the worst it's ever been. I swear, in my teenage years, it weren't like this. Now, if you're thinking the same as me, 30, 40 years ago, it was nothing like this, let me know in the comments below. But it is concerning and worrying. Yeah, there is poverty here in Portugal, and inflation is always rising, but it's not at the same level as the UK. I watch the Portuguese news every morning, and when it comes to poverty, inflation, rising prices, I don't see any reports of that, and I don't understand why, because the UK is a way wealthier country. Big difference, isn't it? Traffic. When I was in the UK, the bane of my life. God, do I remember having to go to the builders merchants to pick up boiler parts to go and fit throughout my day's work. Now my house was only about 6 miles from the merchants, 45 minutes at best, normally over an hour. I remember joining the traffic queue, you couldn't even see the traffic lights way up in front. God, I hated it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't ya? Okay, here in Portugal, let me tell ya, I had to go to Leroy Merlin, which is like the equivalent to B&Q, and it's in Coimbra. Coimbra is the 3rd biggest city in Portugal. Okay, so I have to take 2 major roads to get there, IC6, IP3. Those roads are never congested. Okay, so I get to the outskirts of Coimbra. Do you think I'm now going to hit a load of traffic? No way, Jose. You just glide through Coimbra, all the way through. It isn't a problem. So here's the difference. Driving in the UK, a stressful pain in the arse. Adds to the rat race stressful lifestyle. You know exactly what I mean. However, here in Portugal, anywhere you go, it is a leisurely, pleasurely activity. Big difference, isn't it? Condensed housing conditions. In the UK, you've got housing estates, and the houses are always close together. And then you only get a little postage stamp garden with every house. If you've never seen anything different, you just accept it for what it is. But here in central Portugal, and I'm talking where I live in central Portugal, not like the cities, because there are a few housing estates in the cities. There are no housing estates where I live in central Portugal. You get a lot more land and garden with your home. The spacing between each house is massive, so you never end up with a feeling of encroachment. And there's never parking issues. Big difference, isn't it? I love my paramotoring, flying high in the sky. There's nothing like it. And in the UK, I was well into my fishing, as I was with my gardening. And I loved sightseeing, going to Victorian places like Iron Bridge. And then in the evenings, having a nice barbecue with friends and family. But a lot of the time, these were difficult to do or got cancelled because of poor weather conditions. Does this have a ring of familiarity to you? I can do all those things on a regular daily basis here because the climate is way more favourable. So I naturally wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I don't mind that, to be honest, because between 6 and 10 I can get all those mundane jobs done that you have to do every day. But then after that I've got the whole day, the whole evening to play and do all those wonderful things. Big difference, isn't it? Life in the UK was just one permanent rush job, and I'm sure that resonates with you. And I began to hate it, and that's not good, because that's a very strong negative feeling. Rushing around like a blue arse fly didn't begin and end with work. When it came to friends and family, it felt the same. So I'd finish work, rush home, jump in the shower, freshen up, prepare and cook my dinner, eat my dinner, rush down the pub to meet the friends and family. It just seemed like it didn't end until you put your head on that pillow. I've learnt a different way of life. The Portuguese see family and friends as highly important. Spending time with them is extremely valued. So I now get to spend way more time with Portuguese family and friends, but not down the pub or bar. They don't have pubs here, there's just bars. It's always at their house or at my house. And you spend an awful lot of time talking, drinking Tinto, preparing that meal, eating that meal, and socialising. It's way more calm and relaxing. Big difference, isn't it? Through my work in the UK, I got to meet an awful lot of people. Some of them I wanted to connect with and make lasting friendships, but there just never seemed to be the time. How awful is that? Here, you do have the time to develop quality friendships, and the Portuguese people are very welcoming and very friendly. The Portuguese are skilled at putting hospitality on parade. One, because they've got the time to do it, and two, it is part of their culture. So, I go to Iren's to buy 6 plug plants, 6 lettuces. Out comes the Tinto. 45 minutes later, 3 glasses of wine. Yeah, I've actually bought the plants. Then I was thinking, right, okay, I'll go home. In comes a local guy. Oh, how you doing, Mac? Yeah, nice to see ya. Hey, come round and have a glass of wine with me and the wife. Yeah, okay, why not? I've got the time. Goes round there, sits down at the table, out comes the wine, and out comes the food. So 2.5 hours later, I return home, belly full of food, a little bit too much Tinto to drink, so needless to say, those lettuces didn't get planted until the next morning. Big difference, isn't it? Everything I'm going to tell you now, you could not, should not, and would not do in the UK. When I park up at the local supermarket, I leave my keys in the ignition, van's unlocked. Nobody's going to steal it, it just doesn't happen here. When I leave my home, I don't lock the doors up. Nobody's going to enter my house. Nobody's going to come onto my land. The locals wouldn't allow it. They'd be on it like a ton of bricks. Hey, what are you doing? That's Mac's place. Why are you going in there? At 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night, I have been walking through Lisboa, Porto, Coimbra, Viseu. Do I get troubled? Are there any problems? No. And I've never seen problems. It just doesn't happen here. Big difference, isn't it? Very contrasting differences that have made me see the UK in a very different way. And they have changed me. They've changed my life and they've changed the way I live. My quality of life is way better and more tranquil. Got any questions? Anything you want to know? Leave it in the comments below and I will see you in the next one.